There is an important question that almost everyone thinks about, but hardly anyone says out loud. This deep question often comes late at night, when the cat is no longer there. Does she have a soul? Is she still somewhere? Will I ever see her again? These are absolutely not naive questions, but the deepest ones a human can ask. And today we are asking these questions very directly and letting three different voices answer. The clear voice of science, that of philosophy, and the voice of your own heart. No voice has the absolute answer, but together they reveal an incredible depth. Stay tuned until the end, because this realization will change your perspective forever. Let's start with what modern science knows about the consciousness of cats. For decades, science seriously believed animals have no real consciousness and feel nothing. Then came the Great Cambridge Declaration on Consciousness, signed by the world's best neuroscientists. It officially declared, all mammals possess the neurological foundations for absolutely conscious experiences. That means, the brain structures for consciousness are also found in exactly the same way in our cats. The same amygdala for strong emotions, and the same circuits for genuine pain and genuine joy. That doesn't answer the eternal question of the soul, but the question of feelings. Your cat truly felt genuine pain, great joy, and a very deep bond. This is not our human projection, but absolutely hard and proven neuroscience. But the question of the soul goes much deeper. What exactly remains after death? And this is exactly where modern science currently stops giving certain answers. Not because this question is wrong, but because it lies completely outside the measurable range. Science only measures the repeatable and visible, but the soul definitely doesn't belong to that. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but rather we need completely different tools for it. For example, philosophy, which has dealt intensely with the human soul for millennia. The great philosopher Aristotle firmly believed that absolutely all living beings on Earth have a soul. He distinguished vegetative souls for plants, sensitive for animals, and rational souls for humans. For Aristotle, your cat definitely had its own, sensitive soul for perception and emotion. Perhaps not exactly the same as yours, but a real, distinct, and absolutely unmistakable soul. The famous thinker René Descartes saw all this completely differently in his time. He believed animals were just machines and reflexes, entirely without consciousness and without a soul. But according to our current neurological knowledge, he was absolutely and fundamentally wrong. Because today's knowledge about the complex animal brain doesn't fit into his mechanical worldview. There are too many genuine emotions, too much individuality, and a clear inner experience. The great thinker Immanuel Kant had a completely different and very exciting approach at the time. He said, "We do not know for sure, but we must act as if they had souls." Not out of sentimentality, but because the clear ability to feel establishes a real dignity. This dignity always deserves the utmost respect, regardless of whether we answer the question of the soul. This powerful thought won't let me go: respect and dignity as an absolute, moral duty. We didn't love our cats because they were cute, but because they were feeling beings. Now we look at cultures and what people worldwide have thought about animal souls. And here it becomes extremely interesting, because the global spiritual agreements are absolutely astonishing. In ancient Egypt, cats were already considered a sacred bridge between the different worlds. They were seen as Ba, a special form of soul that can wander freely. When a cat died back then, the grieving family shaved off their eyebrows as a sign of mourning. The cat was mummified because it was believed it would then enter eternal life. This wasn't simple superstition, but an extremely deeply thought out and spiritual worldview. a strong worldview that honestly acknowledged cats with an immortal inner life as complete beings. In Japan, there is an old belief in cat spirits that continue to act eternally after death. Many Japanese families pray at their home shrine after the death of their cat out of pure respect. Out of the conviction that something deeply loved does not simply completely cease to exist. In Hinduism, there is a firm belief in reincarnation for all living beings, including animals. Your cat, there would be a being on its own divine path of spiritual development. In the Nordic tradition, sacred cats accompanied the goddess Freya as companions into the afterlife. This shows, over millennia and across cultures, people worldwide have felt, not just thought. People have felt that the animal's life doesn't simply end and something remains. Now I'll tell you about an important concept in modern philosophy called animal subjectivity. The American philosopher Thomas Nagel wrote a fascinating essay about the experience of a bat. He argued that bats possess a completely distinct inner experience that we do not understand. Exactly the same goes for our cats. There is a deep feeling of being a cat. An experience through senses we don't have, and a nature that is completely unique. If this experience exists, there is also a real subject that feels this consciousness. A real inner being is definitely not nothing, but clear consciousness and perhaps even a soul. Now it'll get very personal, because abstract philosophy means absolutely nothing without lived reality. Think right now of a very specific, concrete, and very intimate moment with your cat. The moment she looked at you intensely and you felt there was something there. Something that is extremely difficult to name. Deep recognition, endless trust, or pure love. Whatever it was, you both felt it, and that moment was real. If exactly that isn't the soul, then our human words no longer have any meaning. What is a soul, if not the deepest inner self making a genuine, untransferable connection? And exactly this connection you had, in that moment and in many others. Nobody can take that away from you, neither death, nor time, nor endless philosophical debates. It was absolutely real, it is real, and it will remain completely real forever. Now I want to talk about something beyond science, our own personal experience. People often report experiences after the death of their cat that they cannot explain. A sudden and very familiar feeling of warmth in the spot where she always lay. A very vivid dream that absolutely didn't feel like an ordinary dream. Or a moment of deep silence in which you simply feel and know she is here. I'm not saying these experiences are supernatural, but they are definitely there. They are absolutely real as inner experiences, mean a lot to us, and deserve our utmost respect. When millions of people independently report exactly the same thing across cultures and centuries, then that says something deep about our experience that you can't simply explain away. Perhaps the soul is not a measurable substance at all, but an infinite and immortal quality of the relationship. A quality so incredibly deep that it breaks through the physical boundary of death. If our intense experience is completely real, then what we experience is also real. Finally, I want to tell you honestly what I believe after all my own research. I don't know absolutely for sure if cats have souls, because no one knows that with certainty. But I firmly believe that simply asking this question already means something very important. You give the cat so much dignity that you consider its absolute immortality possible. That says a lot about you and clearly shows how deeply you have loved. You have loved like someone who deeply knows. This here counts and is extremely important. And this completely pure way of loving is the noblest thing a human can do. Write in the comments, do you believe that your beloved cat really had an eternal soul? Thank you for staying until the end and asking these difficult questions. The wise theologian Hans Kung once said, "Silence about the afterlife is not a denial." That means, just because we don't have a clear answer doesn't automatically mean the answer is no. The silence is open. It is a space where our eternal hope is allowed to reside. This is not a naive belief, but absolutely well-founded hope based on genuine love. If our great love is real, then its immortal effect is also real forever. If her great impact continues to exist within you, in all your memories and in your being, then something has survived death, whether you call it a soul or eternal love. The human word is unimportant. Only the precious weight of this very genuine love counts. In Buddhism, there is the compassionate witness who only lovingly observes without ever judging. Cats are naturally compassionate witnesses who observe us deeply without judging us. They truly saw us, not just our very best, public, and often perfectly acted self. They saw our real, sometimes broken self, and yet they always remained loyal to us. This is an incredibly pure love that many have never experienced from another human. A pure love that is independent of how strong or successful you are in everyday life. Such an incredibly honest and completely unconditional love that is absolutely constantly there every day. And when we ask ourselves, does she have an eternal soul, then perhaps we are really asking, could such a pure being, who loves so wonderfully, simply completely cease to exist? I have absolutely no scientific answer to this very honest, incredibly deep and vulnerable question. But I have a very human answer for you. No, something like that doesn't just stop. It doesn't stop because this experience changes how we see the wide world today. And if that is absolutely not a soul, then we urgently need a wonderful new word.